Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers!
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Let's be real. You work, you worry, you wait, you wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank and Trust understands this rural reality. We're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank and Trust. Real banking, real easy. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Well, welcome inside Vermillion High School as we now make the quick turnaround. And for everyone joining us on volleyball, well, good evening. It's great to have you along here on Live Ticket TV, along with Vermillion Tanagers Live, as we get you set for some volleyball. As Cole Larsh and I just joined you from moments ago, being out at Raleigh French Field at the Veteran Sports Complex, where we just wrapped up some high school soccer for the evening, with the Vermillion girls claiming a spot in the Class 11A postseason with getting a Megan Brady hat trick and a 4-2 victory over the Dakota Valley Panthers. So congratulations to the girls. We'll talk more about that here in just a moment as we are underway for some volleyball here at the Vermillion High School Gymnasium between Class A Vermillion Tanagers and Double A the Yankton Gazelles. And a quick block, net interference. A point will go to the Yankton Gazelles, and we now bring in the coach, Jody Zeller. And Coach Zeller, how are you doing so far this evening?
Hey, it's been chill for me. I've been sitting in the gym watching volleyball.
It's been quite some time since you and I have been together last.
It has been a little bit of time, so it's good to be back.
It is certainly good to be back for me as well. Been away on other duties for some other volleyball streams around the area. Of course, you and Cole worked a few weeks ago with the Sioux Falls Christian as another point went to the Yankton Gazelles. They now lead it 2-0, but got to see that game against Sioux Falls Christian. Otherwise, kind of just one game. I mean, it's been over a week now since they played.
Yeah, it has been. And they played T last week, and boy, it was a barn burner in here with T. We came out and got pretty manhandled in the first set, and then kind of turned things around and did the same to them in set two. The girls played really well against T. It was kind of a surprise to me. I mean, I expected, a decent set, but it was a great set.
Voss with a kill that went way too far. So Gazelles quickly lead it 3-0 over the Vermillion Tanagers. And this time, a Voss touched right over the two blockers there for the first point for Vermillion. First, let's talk about this. A break for so long. Or what do you want to say there?
No, you go.
But this team has had such a long break now that seems unorthodox. Where we're at in the halfway point of the season, how does that play a psyche with these girls?
It's hard because then they were in a great swing. They had the momentum on their side. Things were working well for them. And then when you don't have games in a row, and to try and keep that excitement up, to try and keep that momentum going in practice is hard. And so, hopefully they did some good competitive drills in practice, because that's the key. You got to keep them at that competitive level, and keep their heads where they need to be, because they were in the right spot when the break happened.
Yep.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they come back.
T-area, I mean, I've heard from Coach Nelson. I mean, we've talked, of course, off air about plenty of volleyball, but what did you see so well in that second and third set that really kind of ushered that comeback and able to finish it off in straight sets after losing the first one against the Titans?
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing, obviously, we made fewer mistakes than they did. They had a lot of team mistakes. They had a lot of missed serves. They had a lot of hits in the net. They just had a lot of errors. And our girls stuck together and looked like they believed that they should win that match. And I think it just came down to teamwork there. So I did talk to, I have to tell you, I had a DAC 12 meeting on Wednesday after that match. So I talked to the AD up there, and he said that was a pretty typical T team. So that's
Sure.
what I wondered. Well, did we see the same T team that they're used to having? So yeah, I was really proud of the girls for that win.
It certainly has been a great season the girls have put together after some early struggles to start this season. Really seem like they're starting to come around and hoping to find a big victory here, as there's a service error there for Voss. It's back to a 6-4 lead, a 2-point lead for the Yankton Gazelles, as we switch up cameras there to get a little bit of the pixelation gone that we were having from the huddle camera that was going on. Everything in the background, so that's why you see kind of this second shot angle that you see right now. We'll see if maybe we can't hop back in between that camera a little bit later on. But again, we don't want to give you kind of all that pixelation that's coming from the camera there in the middle, but that has to be cooperating with us. Also, if we could please get a towel up here to Cole Larsh. Our producer, again, we have just ran from the veteran, well, we didn't run, but we had to tear down in less than 5 minutes from Veteran Sports Complex, get all the way to the gym, and in time to get this one started. So.
And Jody just got to sit and watch them panic.
We got it done in time, though.
You did well.
So again, underway here in action, as right now it's an 8-4 lead for the Yankton Gazelles, but a nice pushover is starting to get now into the swing of action, kind of get through our pregame there a little bit. To
me, the biggest difference that I think the girls are going to see tonight playing in Yankton is going to come in the block. When you play a AA school, they're going to block better than the A schools, better than the teams that we're used to seeing, except for, of course, Sioux Falls Christian. We can't count them in the mix of all of that. But you saw it even in I saw it, you didn't. But even in the C and the JV games tonight, there were blocks in those games. The C match, I reffed it, and there had to have been 6-8 blocks just in the C match. And you don't see that often.
You don't certainly see that a whole lot. And going off that, you talk about blockers. Athleticism, for those maybe who don't follow along a whole lot with volleyball, does that change the narrative, or does that?
As someone that's been right in the middle, Class A has been my favorite all the way through, and that's where I've coached all the way through, is in the Class A sector. There used to be a big change. It used to be a huge change in what you saw from Class B to A to AA. But anybody that goes to the state tournaments where all three of them are playing right next to each other, which I don't, I've been at every one for probably 20 years. I hate to admit that, but because of it shows how old I am. Only because of that. But when you watch those three,
40.
Thanks. When you put those three classes all on the courts right next to each other, people that don't know what class they're in are not going to be able to tell you which class is which. They are very even athletically. Now, you might see a difference in the speed of the ball movement on the AA court sometimes. To me, the biggest difference you see is in the blocking.
All right. 10-7, making it 11-7 with another error there by the Tanagers. Vermillion has not necessarily gotten comfortable.
Not yet.
Here in this.
Nope, not yet. Doesn't look like it.
But
still kind of like treading water a little bit, getting their feet wet.
11-7 as the Yankton Gazelles up to serve. So again, here comes the Tanagers with Voss right into the blockers there. But of course, with Voss, the strength she has, she's been phenomenal all season long.
You know, and hers is so much of it is just her confidence in that she can get through the block. She is a kid that does get intimidated when somebody puts a block back down on her, but you gotta keep her swinging at the ball. The one thing I will say, when you have a team that blocks as well as Yankton will do tonight with us, the tip over the block is usually wide open because they trust their blockers to play that spot on the floor.
Sure.
So, yeah.
That'll be something to watch here tonight.
It will.
Getting 11-8, 3-point lead as we have our first timeout, as this timeout is taken by the Yankton Gazelles. Again, just getting underway. As again, Cole Larson and I came over, it was nervous moments, including 2-1 trailing at halftime for Dakota Valley. They were in the lead, but Vermillion offensively finally finding the back of the net about halfway through the second half. Megan Brady added a hat trick. And a big victory for the Vermillion girls as they are on to the postseason. We'll have all the coverage coming up for them. We hope you can make it out to Raleigh French Field as they'll be hosting their first game. So that's what the win this evening meant for them.
Yeah, we had it on down at the scorers table down there, so we were watching them and cheering them on too.
Good to see that. Good to hear that as well. Great to support to just have for those girls. The boys as well, phenomenal soccer team. A lot still up in the air for them. They could be having a first round bye. They could be the number 3 seed. As this one hits the antenna, point for Vermillion, 11-9. A game of momentum, a game of confidence. How important is it to make sure you have confidence even when losing throughout this when it comes to a double-A team?
Yeah, the confidence is always huge in it. But to me, the biggest thing that Vermillion can do for ourselves tonight is not make easy or I don't know, the basic errors. They can control their serves in and out. They've missed 4 or 5 serves already tonight. They can't afford to do that tonight, okay? They have to keep the ball in play. They have to get their hits in that 900 square foot, as I always told the girls. There's 900 square foot on their side of the court. All you got to do is hit one of them.
That seems simple. When you put it that way. When you put it that way, it seems very, very simple. 10-11 right now, trailing by 1 are the Panthers, but a quick point back for the Gazelles. It's now a 2-point lead. Vermillion was grabbing a little bit of momentum there. Great play up on the front line as well for the Tanagers. We'll see if they can't keep chipping away. As the Gazelles get it over. Great pass there. Dodie Voss right there at the blockers. It's going to go out. Again, as you always talk about, don't make Dodie chase after it. She sets everything up nicely. You do that every single time. You're going to walk away with some points. And again, Vermillion does that nicely. Chance to tie it up, but there we go.
That was very uncharacteristic of Ani there. She doesn't normally do that. But as Coach Seibel, who sits here with us, says, that's 5.
Wow.
5 missed serves. So of their 13 points, they've gotten 5 of them by us hitting the ball in the net. Yeah.
So now a 2-point lead, 13-11 for the Yankton Gazelles. Stody sets it up once again for Voss. Just as you said.
That's as I said. That play is going to be open for them tonight. If they're going to go for that block aggressively, they trust the block, and so that spot is open. And Brooklyn is really good at hitting that spot.
She is. She's really good at, as you mentioned before, reading the court, seeing what the blockers are giving her. And this one back right into the net there is Librero. Peyton Mosier not able to get a good touch on it. Now 13-13 as we're tied up for the first time since we were knotted at 0 apiece. So Vermillion trying to take their first lead here of the evening as this one just gets over for Voss. What made that look nice? This one goes too deep, and Vermillion, their first lead of the evening here in set number 1. 3 straight points, now lead at 14-13.
To me, the change comes down to the play. I really think if they just do that tonight, they're going to be able to play with Yankton.
And this is maybe a mistake there for Voss as she went up, reached forward again as we talk. You're in back row. We always kind of say belt high. If it's not belt high, then let it go. I mean, if it... You
got to judge it on its downspin or side spin or whatever, but I agree with you. That was our kind of characteristic statement is if it's at belt high, you can let it go and you're going to be safe.
Yep, and Voss went up and chased it with her fingertips on that one. So kind of gave the point there to the Gazelles as we're tied up. Once again, 14-14, great play.
That was pretty. That was pretty.
Cammie McDermott just knocked it over. Wasn't even looking at it, just kind of a little hook shot with her right hand right into the open space.
That was a play like that. I had Claire work on lots of those kind of plays last year because she just really has nice hands.
15-14, a 1-point lead for the Yankton Gazelles. This one into the net, but didn't hit the antenna. Play still alive, and a bad pass there for the Tanagers sets up an easy kill once again for Cammie and the Yankton Gazelles.
Yep, that was caused by the pass. You can't put the ball on the net without having struggles.
Big thanks to Cole Larsh, our producer, bouncing kind of in and out of those camera angles there as we use the huddle every once in a while, able to use also the near side camera. Another one bad pass for the Vermillion Tanagers, and quickly the Gazelles extended back to a 3-point lead, 17-14. Again, the Yankton Gazelles have won all sets so far this evening, 2-0 in the C game and 2-0 in JV earlier tonight. That was Jensen who got it over. The block there by the Tanagers. Keeping it alive, now just trying to get it over and not able to do so. Quick point given up there once again by the Tanagers. Serena Gap just has to get a
little more oomph on that. Yep. But if you remember what a streak Serena was on, she was really kind of starting to come into herself there. And, so it's going to be important to get her going back into the same thing she was doing when that break happened.
This one blocked away and down by the Tanagers, but falls on their side of the net. Again, just leaving that little bit of a gap when going up for the block. You can go all the way up there.
Yeah, they just didn't get their hip to hip. You got to get that hip to hip because that'll close that block between the girls.
And now quickly, the Gazelles, 5-point lead over the Vermillion Tanagers, 19-14. Gap sets it up for Doty. Jensen again, just try to get it over.
Yeah.
And now this is the momentum slipping.
It is.
Timeout call.
But the little mistakes, the things they can control, the passes that you hit into the net, the hits that you're hitting into the net. Those, you can live with mistakes, like I've told you over and over. It's a game of mistakes. You can live with those. But don't make the ones that what we call a bad error, an error that they can't mess up on even.
That's right. Don't let the mistakes compound either.
Yes, that's another big thing because they've just done we've just had 6 in a row here after going up.
6 points in a row, as Coach Zeller mentions, 20-14. Again, great to have you along here on Live Ticket TV. If you're watching out there on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to Vermillion Tanagers Live. If you have an iPhone, don't forget to download the Live Ticket TV app. If you have an Android, I heard Google has changed up their Play Store, and all the apps have to get re-verified. Currently, ours is going through the re-verification process right now.
That's why you should have an iPhone.
I will get into something on iPhones a little bit later on with my parents. I will tell you something about Gary and Marlene Nimke a little bit later on with iPhones. 6 straight points by the Gazelles. Vermillion trying to end this run right here. Miscommunication. 2 girls run into each other, and it gives a point back to Vermillion. Finally ends that 6-0 run.
I don't, for people that don't know to appreciate that, Heath, that set by Claire Doty was beautiful.
And great play to right in between 2 Gazelles that no communication there and running into each other. Now just a little tap over, nice play there, but great return by Jensen just to tip it back herself.
Yep, just an instinct play, and that's something you can count on Brooke with.
Tanagers here to serve.
Emma Bonsack played libero on the JV tonight and did a nice job of that. It's nice to see her get in there and get some time on the floor, build her confidence a little bit.
Of course, she started for us the very first game that we broadcast. Now, of course, that was due to other conflict reasons when scheduling. But, yeah, and she's starting to get a little bit more playing time on the varsity level as well. So good to see her in that position.
I agree.
Doty has to run a far ways for this one. Gap just gets it over. Gazelles keep it alive. They just knock it over themselves. Here comes Doty once again. And Jensen with the hard kill, but a good block by the Gazelles. Setting it up. Just knocked over this time by McDermott. Here comes Vermillion. This one a nice kill down the line and a point for Vermillion.
2 really nice passes right there. Really nice passes. That makes all of your offense come available. Okay, you can set the ball to anywhere. And Claire's doing a good job of that.
21-17. Going to 25. Win by 2. Set number 1 here in varsity action. Gap serves it over. Set up by the Gazelles. Trying to get the kill there is Macy Drotzman. Drotzman gets it back from the return by the Tanagers. Drotzman once again. This one popped up in the air and will go into the Vermillion student section. I should say players here on the near side. A point.
Yeah, she is their leading kills girl. She hits the ball well.
I know the Drotzman family personally. They are some good athletes. I will say that much.
Yep.
Good name there. And Yankton. And what they've been able to produce throughout their sons and daughters over the years. There's a reason why a few of them have gone on to play at the collegiate level as well.
Yeah.
23-17. 2 more points away from trying to get a win here for the Yankton Gazelles and take set number 1.
Have you noticed, Heath, they don't have a single senior on their roster?
Now this
that was pretty.
Great kill there by Jensen, but I know this as a team that has really bounced throughout the years of trying to build a program.
They have, yes.
And that is something that's interesting is now, okay, going off that, the AA level, we talk about athleticism. That is something we do see a lot more at the AA level as girls try to specialize, and the boys as well, specialize in a certain sport, and we don't necessarily see them all play. So it is very interesting to see them not have a senior on this team.
Right, I would agree with that. You know, I remember playing Yankton last year, but I'm going to be real honest with you. They're a team, and coming in knowing that they were a AA team, we knew we had to focus on their block. But I didn't spend as much time on their individual players as I do some other teams, or did some other teams. I think mostly because I knew I didn't have to worry about conference, all conference, you know, keeping track of that. So I don't remember them not having older players last year. Yeah, I don't remember it.
And now, here comes set point, trying to finish it off, is McDermott here. Goes to gap, to Doty. Doty plays it nicely to Voss. Voss tries to put it over in the corner, but there is Drotzman. Now battle at the net. They want a net interference, the Gazelles do. Not going to get it. Vermillion will get the point and keep things alive, but once again, it is a set point, 24-20. Quick substitution as Claire Doty, the best server for the Vermillion Tanagers, is currently up. She does not make mistakes when she serves.
Absolutely not very often.
Comes the Gazelles and one right into the net by Drotzman. And a point for the Tanagers, now 2 straight. Again, set point remains. Have to win by 2, 24-21. Claire up once again. Gets it over. Drotzman setting thing up for a nice kill, and this on a good block by the Tanagers. Gazelles just hurry to get it over. Set up once again, miscommunication. Vermillion just has to send it over themselves. Once again, kill at the net by Drotzman, blocked by the Tanagers.
That's a good dig by Serena. Good job getting that. Oh, nice.
And this one down the line, but stays alive as the rally continues. Here comes Voss, takes deflection off the blockers, but Gazelles keep it alive. Once again, Vermillion trying to finish this one off. Can't do so, miscommunication, and the Gazelles once again stay alive by just simply getting it over. Here comes Voss, takes the deflection off of Drotzman, goes out. Vermillion dug in deep for that point and walk away with a huge victory off that rally.
That was a rally, and that they played like they were gonna win it.
24-22. Set point remains. Here come the Gazelles once again. Doty. Voss will just knock it over. Popped up in the air, set up nicely. But Vermillion returns it back with Doty. Once again, Drotzman finds the gap on the near side. No!
Oh. Calling that a throw. Calling that a lift.
Wow.
We did that in unison. That was a tough call. That was a tough call, I gotta admit.
And the Yankton Gazelles fans do not agree. 24-23, it is still set point. Vermillion still needs to win this to keep things going. A good block there by the Gazelles. Doty sets it up, Voss just knocks it over, hits off the top of the net, ball stays alive. Gazelles come once again with Drotzman. This was going out, but Vermillion keeps it alive. And get it over. The student section takes the court for a moment. Miscommunication. Gazelles keep it alive. No. Point for Vermillion. And we are tied 24-24 as Vermillion rips off 5 straight points in a row to now force extra volleyball here in set number 1.
That was some exciting play there. Quite 3 rallies in a row with extended play. Nice job to the Tanagers.
I should, and I know it's too late now. He'd have to drag back a little bit. Cole Large, that producer here. I would love to see if that was a carry once again. And I can't believe that was called that. It looked like...
So the definition, Heath, of a carry is to take the ball from one plane, keeping contact, and move it into a different plane.
Across the body.
So do we think that she took the ball from behind her shoulders and pulled it across her shoulder there? It was fast movement. I need to see it on replay too.
Like I said, as much as, of course, I root for the Tanagers, I got to be careful because I do have to go back to Yankton tonight. I do live in Yankton. So they might find out what car I drive and not allow me back into town. 24-24 with 5 straight points for the Vermillion Tanagers. We have ourselves extra volleyball. Doty knocks it over. That was close to the back of the line. Drotzman, this one into the blockers. It falls in between Voss, and a point back for the Gazelles.
See how she floated through that? She floated through that, and instead of pushing, you can float through it, but she's got to push into the net. She didn't, so it rolled down her front instead of theirs.
Drotzman up to serve, and this one.
Dig.
A good dig out, as Coach Zeller mentions. Getting set point here for the Gazelles. Doty falls out, or over, excuse me, as she digs it out. Voss knocks it over. Coming once again, strong kill. Great point to finish this one off, as that was Ava Kohler, the junior, who gets a big point, finishes it off. And it is the Yankton Gazelles who take set number 1 over the Vermillion Tanagers. But another great comeback, Coach Zeller, on what we just saw from Vermillion.
Yes, the biggest thing I saw is we didn't seem very affected by their block. And I thought we did a nice job of getting a lot of touches on their hits.
Well, it was great back and forth action for set number 1. We know we're going to see plenty more of it in set number 2. That comes up here in just a moment on Live Ticket TV.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities. This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Coach Zeller's digging it. As we're back after set number 1, a little bit of Led Zeppelin bringing us back in for set number 2. We were watching the instant replay up here just a few moments ago on that carry call that went against the Yankton Gazelles. I guess in the end, Coach Zeller, it doesn't really matter a whole lot because the Gazelles end up winning set number 1, 26-24, but very, very impressive what the Vermillion Tanagers were able to do with the comeback. Oh, I think the girls...
I was like, what do you see?
Well, they were just clapping somebody in. I think they were just clapping in Amy Richardson.
Well,
the trainer's back.
She's over here. Well, I don't know.
Well, she just came back in from JV soccer.
Oh, maybe they just wanted an update because I didn't get to update them before it came out.
Oh, that's true. That I never thought about the varsity girls definitely for volleyball. Don't know what happened. That's true.
Exactly.
That's probably true. They probably just heard that the Vermillion girls are on to the postseason. As again, Megan Brady hat trick got the win, 4-2 over the Dakota Valley Panthers. And I'm starting to see more JV girls come in as well. The varsity players were out there. But we're set, ready to go. Main message for both teams, Coach Zeller. Set number 2, here we go.
Yes, we need to serve better this set. And we need to not wait so long to get going.
5 service errors in that first set that went against the Tanagers that led to 5 points. A deflection there, but Vermillion is able to get it over. As here come the Yankton Gazelles with Drotzman.
Nice
Popped up in the air.
dig by Serena.
And this one right into the net for Barnett. And a point for the Yankton Gazelles. But we talk also about that senior leadership. Of course, a couple big seniors for the Vermillion Tanagers with Clara Doty on the team. Of course, O'Neill, she's been huge on this squad. But a lot of great youth as well for the Vermillion Tanagers that continues to grow. 1-0 as this one knocked over nicely by Barnett, and now...
Oh, he's going to call it 2, I think, on that again. Oh, nope, it was the foot fault. On the center line, foot fault.
Now, help me out here. Who's our main official for this evening? I missed that.
That is Mr. Jerry Sarda. He's from Beersford, long-time coach.
All right, have to give a little bit of a humble brag here.
Yep.
Blocked there, but goes out of bounds. Speaking of Live Ticket TV expanding here in the region, Beersford just signed on with us. So,
well, I've turned into a Beersford fan. You know, that's where my daughter and her son, and her husband just moved.
Okay.
So my grandson's there. We like it. They're closer.
Well, there we go. Now you can watch Watchdog Athletics with Live Ticket TV.
Exactly. Who would have ever thought we'd put our grandkid in purple?
Well, well, what he used to be in.
Well, he's only 1.5.
Okay. What was he going to be in color?
Well, he lived right across the street from the new Jefferson High School in Sioux Falls.
Okay, so
we'll take this, right?
Yes, we will take this for sure. Now might have a few clashes coming up throughout the year. Great kill there by the Tanagers. They find the far corner for a good point. Zeller's going against the Tanagers coming up in about what?
Well, he's a Grassel.
Oh, Grassel, that's true.
He's a Grassel, yes.
That still counts.
Yeah, it does. He's got Zeller in him.
That's feisty.
Yes, it is.
Doty just tried to send it over, but another mistake there by Voss. As again, it looked like it might have been going over her head. She knocked it down with her hands. And again, kind of gives that point there to the Vermillion Tanager, or excuse me, to the Yankton Gazelles.
Yes.
And now a 3-2 lead for the Yankton Gazelles as up to serve Peyton Mosier, the junior librero for the Gazelles. Knocked over nicely by Doty. Kill once again, but straight into the net there by Ava Kohler. Or 3-3. Well, you talked about making sure not wasting time, getting going immediately.
Yep.
seems like Vermillion is doing that nicely.
Yeah, it seems to be a little better start here, so that's a good sign. The soccer girls showing up in the crowd.
And they have a lot to cheer on. Of course, they're tired, but it's all worth it when they are on to the postseason. Took a deflection off some fingertips there, and a point for the Tanagers.
Her last 2 hits have been down that line, and it's wide open. And she's so good at hitting that spot.
Up to serve right now for the Vermillion Tanagers. It's Bonasac. Gets over nicely once again. Just takes kind of that dip as soon as it gets over the net, but the kill immediately right back at her. As this time, Olivia Dimmer, the sophomore, sends it right back down into the hardwood. Well, back and forth right now here in this second set, 4-4 apiece. Up to serve for the Gazelles, Koletsky. Jensen set up on a wrong pass. She just had to get over. Miscommunication for the Gazelles. They do a nice job of sending it back.
Alive. There
now
you go, Brooke.
A huge block, but it goes out of bounds. Nice job, though, by Jensen. One-on-one.
That's something you can count on with Brooke. Brooke's not a real touch kind of a player. Brooklyn has more of that. Brooke's just going to hit the ball hard.
I think that comes a little bit from the family as well. You talk about a very athletic family themselves. Plenty of history. Of course, her brother is, I guess, now in Yankton as well.
Yes.
At the Mount Marty University.
Yeah, playing some baseball there.
Playing some baseball. Good to see from Mr. Jensen. See if I can't catch a baseball game. I know, of course, they're kind of underway with their little bit of a fall season as they have.
Yeah.
Know some softball players on that team as well. So, yeah, have to try to get out, watch a little bit of softball, watch a little bit of baseball. I will admit I've never been to a Mount Marty University football game yet. So
not yet.
I go more support the alum in the University of South Dakota. An ace up here for the Yankton Gazelles.
Boy, the Coyotes had a good. Let's just talk first half. Let's just pretend we didn't see the second half.
The Bison get quick 14 points in that third quarter, and
wow.
Good game though from USD.
Good first half.
Oh, and this one it went out and went behind.
It actually went.
Or through the net there, yeah.
Yeah, right through it. It would have been.
That's true, yeah. In tennis, it would have been good. Speaking of tennis, Yankton Gazelles, a great tennis team as well, as they had some meets going on just the other night. This one into the net, point for Vermillion, and we're still tied back and forth. This has never expanded to more than a 3-point lead for either team. Right now, 7-7 apiece.
Yeah, I'm going to take this second to give a little shout out to the Vermillion tennis team as well. Coach Jensen has built herself quite a little group of girls tennis players this year, and she is expecting some big noise next week at the state tournament.
I'm excited to see how that all works out for them. Now, I didn't see them out practicing earlier.
Did they not? Oh, she was gone from school today, so I wonder if they had a match.
Oh, that could be. I know the cross-country team did extremely well for both the boys and the girls as well.
And the boys' golf team.
How'd the boys' golf team? I missed their story. How'd they do today?
I don't think that was today. I think it was earlier this week, but I do believe they qualified to move on as well.
Nice.
Yes.
We'll have more of an update on all of that. Give me some time for football tomorrow, or we can even find it yet this evening. Of course, the football team in action tomorrow. They take on the Chamberlain Cubs for the Cubs homecoming. That'll be interesting for the Cubs. They've had a lot of festivities going on, as I caught up with their staff earlier today. They were talking about all the festivities they have going on for tomorrow. They got a parade, they got a ceremony, they got classes, they got a football game.
They have to go to class on homecoming day? Our kids don't go to class.
Well, you guys get Friday off?
No, we have school, but we don't have like education classes. We have chaos class.
A 1-point lead, now make it a 2-point lead. Miscommunication there once again for the Yankton Gazelles, as Drotzman wasn't for sure if she was going to get to it or not. Chauncey Drotzman, that is.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit with their passing tonight, Yankton. I don't know if that's been a continued struggle or not, but they are struggling a bit with their passing.
and they're going to take a timeout. We're going to take a timeout with them. It's 10-8 here in set number 2. Vermillion leads it over the Yankton Gazelles. We're back here in just a moment.
Let's be real. You work. You worry. You wait. You wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank and Trust understands this rural reality. We're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank and Trust. Real banking, real easy.
Ty Hertz is out, goes out.
Ten to 8 as we come back and set number 2 after a Yankton Gazelles timeout as they still remain in the huddle. Kind of getting a little bit of update. We'll save the injury talk for coming up on tomorrow. It's part of the pregame show. Don't ruin it for everybody.
Oh, so we can't talk about it.
We won't talk about it for now, but there are some big injury updates. We will say this much. JV football has been canceled for the rest of the year because of how bad Vermillion has been hit by the injury bug this season. Miscommunication and passing once again. Another big point for the Vermillion Tanagers. Their biggest lead they've had here in this second set, now 11-8. Time to grab a lot of momentum here for Vermillion.
Yeah, they're honestly, I thought it would be the other way around where their block would bother us, but it seems to be that our block is bothering them.
And now another point for Vermillion as saying this one too far. This time I believe was Koletsky. No, that was Drotzman, excuse me. And now a quick substitution as checking back into the game will be Kenny, the junior. That'll hitter for the Yankton Gazelles. Doty up to serve. Continuing on her rally, a 4-point lead here for the Vermillion Tanagers. 12-8, just knocked over. Vermillion all-out effort, but not going to come up with it. Something we did not see earlier this season was that right there.
Exactly. That's what it was going through my mind, how you even say that. Because how many points do you see where they would be satisfied letting that fall?
Yep.
And they weren't satisfied there letting it fall. There were 3 girls on the floor trying to keep it from falling.
Vermillion still leads it by 3. As Doty just has to send it over, does a nice job doing that. Trying to get the kill that time was Kenny, but Vermillion there to dig it out. Once again, Gazelle set. They're just going to pop it backside, set up perfectly there to Macy Drotzman.
That was a nice swing, nice hit down the line.
12-10. Points answered back. 2 in a row here for the Yankton Gazelles. But still trail by 2, 12-10. In set number 2, set number 1, 26-24, went to the Yankton Gazelles. And now a dig that was poorly placed by Vermillion. Easy point for the Gazelles.
Easy point. Not a good pass, and then we didn't do anything to try to help that pass. We got to get up and block that. They can't count on Claire to fix that.
I figured out my question to earlier this evening as well. Great block there by the Yankton Gazelles. Here come the Gazelles. I'll finish off that statement here in just a moment. This one, trying to dig it out. Vermillion needs to get it back in play. Can't do so. 4 straight points now. We're tied 12-12. I was wondering when we were setting up for soccer earlier why the football team wasn't out for practice. They're going to tell me it was a walkthrough. They don't hit on Thursday. But more importantly, Coach OB's Bengals played tonight. He didn't want to have to worry about anything extending out, so that's why they didn't have practice this evening. Or they had their quote-unquote walkthrough for tonight. Done at 5 is what you guys were done at?
Well, they have to have their team meal then, too.
Oh, they have to have a team meal as well?
Oh, yeah. Football parents take care of those kids.
I bet OB
Gotta feed those guys.
I bet the coaches weren't there. I bet they were all getting ready for that Bengals game going on. I think Tom O'Boyle might be the only person I know who's a Bengals fan.
I've never met another one.
So I haven't either. Bengals lead it, though, 7-3 on Thursday Night Football. They're about halfway through the first quarter of action. 13-13, tied between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Yankton Gazelles. Dig up there. Voss just sends over trying to get to the back corner. Not quite able to do so.
helmets. As long as they just need to give the ball to Mixon.
They really do.
Yeah.
They really
The
do.
Bengals. Give it to Mixon.
Because he's on your fantasy, right?
Yeah.
How many points has he got so far?
10. 10.4.
Did he get a touchdown already?
Yeah.
He just dropped down to 9.6. What's that about? Negative yards? Or I must be looking at somebody
No,
else.
it's just 17 yards, but he scored the touchdown.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll take that.
Yeah, you're talking about their nice helmets. I don't know necessarily about the
They
nice.
look like a zebra.
Thank you, Coach Zeller. That was the point. The Bengals, they look like a bunch of zebras right now. Like, look at that. They're albino. They look like a bunch of zebras right now. Might as well call them the Cincinnati Zebras. Nice point there for Voss as she just knocks over, finds the gap in the defense, brings it back within 1 point for the Gazelles, 15-14. Traditional Dolphins. They're teal and white, orange uniforms. They look good. And you got the Bengals, excuse me, the Zebras out there. 15-14 here.
I hope OB's listening.
I'm never going to hear the end of this one tomorrow. I might get myself in trouble. If I don't have a post-game interview with him tomorrow,
We'll know why.
I know why. It was my comments made during volleyball. 16-14. So Kill went straight into the net.
Yeah, Serena's last hit, she let that ball come down to her rather than going up to get it. You got to go attack the ball. Don't let it come to you.
Doty right there at the net, but able to save it. Jensen just knocks it over nicely for a big point there, but a good save by Doty as she was basically about to lean into that net to get it out of there and set up Jensen perfectly. Now substitution as coming back in for the Tanagers. Emma Bonasac in to serve. Pops this one up in the air. Gazelles, they come with the dig. Vermillion covers nicely, set back to Jensen. Great idea to go across court. Just a little too much power on it. And a point for the Gazelles.
Emma Bonsack just makes me smile. She's one of those kids, we had a special connection, and she got my sarcasm better than most people do. And I could make fun of her, and she would laugh right with me.
Yeah, she's again getting some little bit more playing time here for the Vermillion Tanagers, currently out there on the court. Big kill there for Jensen. Took a couple deflections off the blockers, found its way through. Back to a 1 point game. This one has been close throughout. Really has not extended to more than 4 for either team. 17-16. Doty sets up to Jensen once again. She sends it back row. A girl on the ground there for the Yankton Gazelles.
Their
getting
setter.
back up. And McDermott was there rolling around on the ground as well there. And this one finds the gap. Big point there.
That was a nice swing by her. That's at number 2. Yeah, she's their second best hitter.
Ava Kohler.
Kohler, there you go.
18-16. I'm not for sure. Yeah, I mean, McDermott over on the near side of the net was just kind of rolling around there. I'm not quite for sure.
Well, I think one of her players stepped on her foot, and when she went to try and move, she didn't really trip her. She just lost her balance because somebody was on her foot.
18-17 after a service error. So that goes just a little too far. And then Vermillion, wow, returns it right back. As not a good serve that time was Bailey Baylor, the junior. She'll take a seat. Jensen back in for Vermillion. So point given right back, 19-17. Vermillion needs to go on a little bit of a run here. Try to win this second set. Gazelles there at the net, get it over.
Good.
Dug up again.
Ow.
But Voss digs it, honestly, the wrong direction.
It's good to see Brooklyn go for stuff like that, though, because that is not her natural reaction. She's a hitter, and defense is not a natural instinct for her. So she has continued to work on it forever.
20-17. Doty on the third hit just has to simply get it over. Does so nicely. Knocked over. Jensen tries to get away with Doty. Doty makes a cross-court pass. Nice job there. But Gazelles set and ready for it, and then some net violation as Voss was the one who went into it. So as we talk about momentum for the Vermillion Tanagers, it's the Yankton Gazelles who grab it. They now lead it by 4, 21-17.
Yeah, we tend to have a little streak like this in almost every set. And, you know, if we could just get those stopped or at least not let them be so big.
And now a big mistake there by Drotzman as she was all alone, had plenty of time. She knew she had to get it over, but just sends it right into the net. So Vermillion needs to put together a little run of their own. 21-18, trailing by 3. Doty gets it over as the Gazelles set up the kill. Blocked by Voss, straight back down. Great look there for Kenny, but an even better block by Brooklyn Voss. 21-19.
I don't know, the viewers probably can't see Brooklyn's face, but she almost is embarrassed when she does something good like that. It's like she doesn't want anybody to notice it was me that got him.
And now, I didn't see that at all. It's a net violation, but I did not see anyone.
They called a net violation? I didn't see. I just saw the ball drop in front.
No, they called a net violation. I didn't see anyone get to the net.
Well, then that makes sense because I saw Brooklyn's face. She got mad about it, so.
I mean, it was close, but it didn't look like anybody was there. Nonetheless, Gazelles get 2 straight points in a row here quickly. 23-19. I mean, we can argue about it up here all we want of what we did and did not see. But in the end, it's not us making the call here. And now,
so true.
Up to serve, McDermott.
Good pass.
Doty to Voss. Voss tries to find the space there right in the middle. Dug up nicely by the Gazelles, getting it back over. Played awkwardly right there at the net, punching it over. Great job by Vermillion, but strong kill the opposite way.
Yeah. Shaylin's pulling that block out too far. If you notice, like their hitter is outside of the antenna and Shaylin's pulling out there to block. So what she's really blocking is out of bounds. So she's got to move her block more in on a hit like that.
Cameron Koletsky got the big kill there. We're now at set point as it looks like cross-country team is also starting to make their way here.
Oh, yep.
Into the gym as well. Again, girls finished 3rd. Boys finished 4th in action today for cross-country.
Where were they at again?
Lennox.
Okay.
That's where they were at today.
Gotcha.
Kind of a tune-up before getting ready for their state meet as well. I believe, I have to take a look back. Can't remember if there was a mixture. Yes, there was AA teams in there. It's AA and single A that were mixed in. It was a pretty big invitational.
Yeah. I know the DAC-12 meet here is coming up, not next week, but the following. So that's usually their last meet before regions. So.
And of course, DAC-12 is stacked in cross country as well as Sioux Falls Christian.
Isn't everything stacked with DAC-12?
It really is, yeah. So when you look at the top of the top, the DAC-12 is always going to produce.
It does.
Some of the best athletes. It's like the SEC.
Yes.
24-19, set point for the Yankton Gazelles, trying to finish this one off after the timeout from Coach Nelson for the Vermillion Tanagers. Here they come. Great block by the Gazelles, miscommunication, and Vermillion knocks it back opposite way. And a point for the Yankton Gazelles, and they take a second set. 25-19. Coach Zeller, need a big 3rd, 4th, and 5th set now for the Vermillion Tanagers.
Yes, we do. We're going the long haul, I guess, right?
That's what it looks like we're in for. The 3rd set comes up here in just a moment on Live Ticket TV.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Amy Nelson breaking huddle with her troops, sending them back out there. Set number 2 goes to the Yankton Gazelles. They have a 2-0 lead as Vermillion tries to extend it to a 4th set. In fact, the Yankton Gazelles have been extremely successful tonight, have won all 6 sets so far of action that they've seen here in Vermillion. The Tanager varsity trying to change that narrative and see if they can't make a huge comeback. Seems like the girls are still in high spirits out there.
That's kind of what I was just thinking is, you know, for a team that's down 2-0, their spirits are high. So I guess that's a good thing. Hopefully their spirits are high, but their minds are focused.
We were talking there about Kelsey O'Neill and Brooke Jensen there coming together for a chest bump. Big old smiles on their face. Hey, I mean, good to see to start this opening 3rd set. Let's see if that can translate over now.
Great pass.
Can't find a win as Voss just got it over the blockers there, but Gazelle's back to recover. Doty sets up once again. Voss just over the blockers again, but again, the Gazelles there to clean it up in the back row. Doty, Voss this time sends it down and gets the big point. Vermillion starts off the lead 1-0.
Hey, we got another shout out. We got to give Neil Chapman a shout out here as our new line judge. It's his first time. He's doing a great job.
I was curious of that. Now, did he get thrust into the position or?
I think he was asked and agreed to this gig.
I love to see it. Love to see it. Another big point for the Vermillion Tanagers. Hey, by the way, if you're out there listening, if you ever want to be an official, we're always looking for more.
Yes.
We're always looking for more. It's a great way to get involved as well.
And you make a few bucks while you're doing it.
Yeah, you get paid, by the way.
Yeah.
You get paid to be an official.
Yeah.
So help out today. You can find out more on the South Dakota High School Activities Association website, how to become official. Every sport, they are looking for more. Football, volleyball, basketball coming up. Yeah, make a few extra bucks, help out.
There you go. We got lots of people that sit in the stands and already think they're officials, so might as well come on out and get paid.
I will leave my comments to myself.
That was the true coach in me speaking.
A point there for the Yankton Gazelles, their first of the 3rd set. Did hear something, Cole Larshkin speak to this. Not necessarily anything against the officials, but we heard some Dakota Valley Panthers decide to go after some Vermillion players late in that game as well. That was very, very interesting on a comment.
At the soccer game?
A comment that was made, yeah.
Wow.
A little bit of an interesting comment that was said extremely loud, I will say this much. I mean, we had headsets on. We could hear that clearly. I was like, woof. That's one thing to say to a girl.
That is not okay.
Never okay.
Never okay.
2-2. Here is the score. So we're back. Voss, able to knock it over, find some space. 3-2. It's all about sportsmanship.
It is. In the end, it's about being a good person.
Yeah. Again, walk away. This is high school sports. I would love to say I can remember everything about my high school sports days, but I certainly cannot. Coach Zeller, I think you can agree to that as well.
I agree wholeheartedly. You know, at the time, it does feel
Yes.
like it's the most important thing that will ever happen. And as a parent, when your kids are going through it, it seems like it's the most important thing they'll ever do. But now I have grandkids coming and those kinds of fun things, and guess what? This is a whole lot cooler.
Yep. And you forget all about everything that happened.
Who scored what point?
Exactly. Speaking of a point that goes to the Tanagers off to a deflection with the antenna. So Vermillion now leads it 4-2 here in set number 3, again trailing 2-0. And Gap sends this one into the net. Gives it back to the Yankton Gazelles, 4-3. We get a matchup of single A and double A here this evening.
Serena's got to get that transition back and forth. She just stood and then planted, and we got to get her feet moving.
4-3. Voss tries to get over the blockers, but this time they were ready as they started to peel back actually there for a moment, expecting that from Voss.
I agree. She needs to swing away a little bit.
4-3. This one dug down into the ground. Point for the Yankton Gazelles, and we're tied up once again, 4-4. So Vermillion, after starting off with an early lead, the Yankton Gazelles are looking for their first lead of this third set. And this one comes a little awkwardly to Barnett, but Vermillion able to recover, get it over. Never really setting up the offense there. Block, but again coming running in off balance as she was leaning in. Point for the Gazelles.
Squeeze. That's what you call that. Got to squeeze.
5-4, first lead for the Yankton Gazelles now over the Vermillion Tanagers. Serving right now is Mosier. Dug up nicely. Vermillion will reset as Gap just kind of gets it over. Nice cross-court serve, but it goes too far out for Ava Kohler, their second best killer on the team.
Yeah, we tried everything we could there. She even tried to jump and reach as high as she could. Good thing she didn't have much of a reach.
5-5 as we're tied up once again here in the third set. Kohler this time sends it near line. Doty was ready.
That was pretty. Oh, what?
No deflection is what they're calling.
That was a touch.
They say...
They're claiming no touch, huh? Maybe we can't give Neil a shout out.
I never thought purple was a pretty color.
Oh.
And this time a net violation. Point to the Yankton Gazelles. They now lead it 7-5 over the Vermillion Tanagers. Of course, always, as we just talked about officials, I could never do that where Neil is at. Has to make so many quick calls. Impressive what he is able to do.
Yeah.
And again, we always see it from a different vantage point as well. This time a point for Vermillion as Kohler sends it into the net. Vermillion not letting this one balloon up at all, as now Emma will check back into the game to serve. Spins in her hand, gets it over nicely. 7-6. Blockers there for Vermillion. Gap once again, this time, no doubt about it, no deflection. Point for the Gazelles.
I'd sure like to see her get her shoulders square to the net. I think she'd have better luck getting the ball inbounds.
8-6. She has been kind of doing that all night, as you mentioned, open up the body. Mm-hmm. She has opened up the body. She has certainly not been able to square her shoulders whole lot. And that time, she's able to bring that right arm back in, plenty of speed, right down the line. Huge point, as this we were talking about, she bounces immediately back.
You could call that, as I did, before she even contacted the ball. She was going to be successful there.
8-7, and this time they go right back at Gap. And Coach Nelson's going to go after the ball. The ball has found its way outside the gymnasium. And now it's over on that side of the gym. Oh, we got the ball back. And here we go.
Coach, that must be her stall tactic, do you think?
I don't know. I would say, don't we have other balls around?
We do. There are 2 game balls on
that's what I was thinking.
table.
We were determined to go get that one. So I didn't think this was any backyard stuff where we only have one ball. We have to go get it. And this one, Well, good effort there. Almost trying to get that. Was
Yeah,
Emma. She could just caught that and threw back over. See if that would have worked.
Right. Honestly, that was a really good play by Kelsey to get that ball up.
10-7 as now the Gazelles find themselves on a little bit of a run. Claire Doty trying to make the pass behind her to Jensen, but the Gazelles ready for it, but they sent it right into the net themselves, and a point for Vermillion.
I think she was trying that little setter trick play there, but she didn't get the ball quite high enough.
McDermott makes the mistake, and now she will come out for a moment. The Zebras and the Dolphins. Zebras still lead it 7-3. Oh, I'm sorry, the Bengals.
They seriously look like the Zebras.
Probably getting confused between the officials and what's going on in that football game. 11-8, another point back for the Yankton Gazelles as they're starting to build this little bit of a lead. It's not getting away from the Tanagers yet, but they're keeping it just out of reach at the moment. Voss over the two blockers. Doty. Voss once again right into the two blockers, and that's what you talk about. Just use your power.
Yep.
It's going to be successful.
Yep.
Claire Doty now up to serve as we see his substitution. Coming back in, Puckett. Haven't called her name a whole lot yet this evening. 11-9.
That was a great serve by Claire.
Drotzman just sends it into the net. And a point for the Vermillion Tanagers. They draw back within one. Again, talk about not quite letting it get away from them here. 11-10. Popped up in the air there by Drotzman. Looked like it was like the.
That was an interesting play. Yeah, she
did it like a goalkeeper did.
Yeah.
Like a goalkeeper in soccer just used her fist to pop it up in the air. You'd see that out there at Veteran Sports Complex at Raleigh French Field earlier today. If you had to clear it out, you just use your fist to punch it away. Kind of interesting there.
Yeah.
Rally continues nonetheless. Voss sends it into the blockers, popped up in the air. Gazelles just need to get it over, able to do so. Doty to Voss, right over the blockers, but a great recovery there by Yankton. And now this time, finally finds the point. Great rally by the Yankton Gazelles, but an even better job to Vermillion Tanagers in finishing it off. And now a timeout called for the Yankton Gazelles. 11-11. Conversation, where you think your head's at right now if you're Coach Nelson?
What's she saying? I don't know what she's saying. I know what I would be saying.
What would Coach Zeller be saying right now?
Mine would be saying, you have to be smart volleyball players here. You have to communicate. We have to quit making those little errors. We got their run stopped. Now let's get a run going of our own and move forward from here. Okay? We're all tied up. Let's focus on the next 5 points.
11-11 right now. As again, Yankton won the first set 26-24. Yankton won the second set 25-19. Again, trying to win 3 sets. We're tied at 11 apiece as currently into this third set.
Coming back with Claire Doty serving here. There's not anybody else you'd rather have back there.
Absolutely not. Claire, that senior leadership. Trying to get a great play here. Get things going for the Vermillion Tanagers. Knocks it over. Popped up in the air and right into the net. Drotzman sends it. Point for Vermillion. 12-11. Doty sends it over nicely. Gazelle set things up. There's gap. Digs out.
Chance for us here. Let's
Doty.
go, Ani.
Ani, though, sends it into a couple of Gazelles. Yankton in the end just has to get it over. This time, back row. Saved by Librero. Once again, here comes Drotzman. Hit by the middle blockers down for Vermillion. Blockers there once again get fingertips to it. Doty sets it for Voss. Voss just sends it down and gets a big point. Man, the way that time it looked, that almost looked like Voss might have carried that. I don't know.
Well, that was pretty close to that same call he called on the Yankton girl. I agree with that. But I think the play before that, the Yankton libero set the ball. I don't know. Cole's going to have to pull the replay up for me on that one, too. Because the libero cannot set the ball in front of the 10-foot line. Well, she can, but the attacker can't hit it when she does that. And I think she might have been in front of that. I think the ref missed it. We'll look.
I missed it as well, so I'm going to let you be the judgment call on that one, Coach Zeller. 14-11. By the way, the ball went out after Vermillion dove for it, but missed on the dive with Doty. So in the end, get lucky and save. Gap tries to set up from Voss. She just has to knock it over as she was played awkwardly there by Gap. Great block this time by Baylor, or excuse me, that was Puckett, who comes up with a big block. Another point as Vermillion currently on a 4-0 run since the timeout. Now lead it 15-11. And Doty remains up to serve. And once again, Voss just got it back, and she sent it right back over instead of trying to make something happen offensively.
That's a good play. That's a good play on that, because that's the last thing they expect is the blocker to be ready on that push.
16-11, Vermillion. Oh, wow.
Look at even
it was
she's
so
shocked.
Yeah, she was like, what
even
just
she's
happened?
Shocked. Like, I can't believe I did that. Yep.
Claire Doty makes a rare mistake, sends it into the net for an error, and she gets bailed out. Drotzman returns the favor, and Vermillion leads it by 5. 17-12. So Ani is up to serve for the Vermillion Tanagers. Set up nicely for the Gazelles. Dug out, but again, Gap in the end can't get it over. Ava Kohler having herself a great game so far this evening for the Yankton Gazelles. She was in on that last play. She seems to be kind of all over the court tonight. 17-13 Gap. And this one, kind of a bad play, but the Yankton Gazelles able to save it there.
Yeah, some really nice hustle there from them.
Just a bad play. Very bad play there from Peyton Mosier, the librero, who just set that all up awkwardly. She even looked down to her foot there just a moment ago to say, it looked like she slipped. I just realized this. Nope, okay, one. Someone is wearing Nike shoes that breaks it up. But I'm pretty positive the Yankton Gazelles are all wearing the same Adidas shoes. Is that common? I mean,
is that common?
Do you have to have white shoes?
No.
I just realized that. Everyone's wearing white. Do you have to have white?
You do not have to wear white shoes. When I coached, though, I would tell you, I would contact us. I would have the girls pick a style they preferred. And then I would contact a salesman, and they would come in and they will fit the girls and then give them a team price on shoes. Yes. So you can. So like if Yankton did that. I
don't know why I noticed that.
Who knows why you did. But, obviously they want the coolest, newest things. And if you do it as a team purchase, you can sometimes get them a little cheaper. And coaches sometimes get some fun perks that way.
All right, at least four of them are wearing white and black Adidas. I'm not crazy. I don't know why I noticed that either. 18-13. All right, thank you, Coach Zeller, for explaining the shoe situation. 18-13. I'll explain my shoe situation here in just a moment.
You got a shoe gig, huh?
I have a shoe gig. Sent back over by the Gazelles. Claire Doty. Gap finds the gap between two blockers and gets a big point. For football, I didn't really care about. I was offensive lineman, linebacker, didn't matter. But for soccer,
were a lineman?
Played center actually.
Holy mackerel!
I was a pulling center actually, and our team was built on speed. That is what we were built on, and it was very, very successful. But for soccer, I was flashy in the shoe category. I liked different color shoes.
Hey.
Including, I had green, freshman, orange, my sophomore, gold and red, my junior, and bright neon pink my senior year.
I'm not surprised by that.
They helped breast cancer research. I was all about it. make a statement. I still have them to this day. When I play pickup games, I still wear them.
Nice, nice.
Jensen, a rare mistake as she sent just into the net, so gives a point back for the Yankton Gazelles, 19-14. But Vermillion returns it back, and it feels like the way this is going, we're certainly going to have a lot more volleyball in store.
I agree. That was a nice comeback for Brooke there, because she didn't do so well on the hit right before that, but Claire went right back to her, and she wasn't afraid to swing.
20-14. Drotzman gets the first touch. Blocked there by Claire Doty. Gazelles will set once again and find a good gap over on that far boundary. Right where Vermillion has, of course, their two blockers up in defense, and right by it, and gets a big point. By the way, shout out as well to the Vermillion faithful. It seems like this crowd is getting bigger and bigger all the time.
They're doing a great job of supporting it. There is a lot, but I will tell you, I don't want to burst your bubble.
The Gazelles fans over there too. Yes.
So it does make our crowd seem a bit bigger.
Yep.
But it does seem like there are more people here tonight.
It does. And of course the student section, I think was supposed to be neon night, has just turned into whatever night.
Yes.
21-15.
Too many activities going
That's
on.
right. That's right. A lot of them have come in from other sports for the evening. Some of them still wearing uniforms. Ball popped up in the air, finds its way into the bleachers. Fans get involved for a moment. Friendly fire, watch out.
There you go. And of course, Claire and her goofy little self is going to be embarrassed by that.
21-16. Oh, bad sequence of events there for Vermillion. Very bad sequence. No one got a clean hit. They were just kind of going all awkwardly downward. And right now, Vermillion faithful, as we mentioned, is trying to chime in a little bit more. They want to see them finish off set number 3 and force a fourth set. Popped up, just knocked over. This one gets right by Bonsack, and another point for the Yankton Gazelles. 21-18. Up to serve here. Olivia Dimmer, the sophomore, and creates the error. Point for Vermillion.
We'll take that, won't we?
We needed it. 22-18. It is the lucky number 22 for Coach Zeller, as now up to serve.
Marissa.
Getting her first action.
She is.
And sends it too far. Now, was this her first action?
I do believe that's the first time she's been in.
A varsity, though?
A varsity game, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, she plays left side on the JV, and I think does a really nice job.
22-19. Knocked over for the Gazelles. Voss trying to get a big kill there, but dug out by the Yankton Gazelles. They just knock it over and just kind of running into each other that time. Gap and Doty. And the Gazelles have climbed back into this and now are surely alive. 22-20, trying to finish this off in 3 sets. So right, turn the rally caps inside out. Here we go. Vermillion, an ace for the Yankton Gazelles. Coach Zeller wants a timeout. Coach Nelson hasn't taken it. She does have 2 in her pocket to use. 22-21. And set number 3. This one just dug over the net. Miscommunication by the Yankton Gazelles. And Vermillion gets a huge point.
We'll take that. We'll take that. We needed a break in the action on for us.
23-21.
With Doty serving.
Doty gets it over nicely. Gazelles try to set up their attack. They just have to eventually get it over. Now set up. And this one, a great kill by Ani. And it's set point now for Vermillion. Vermillion with a chance to finish off set number 3 and go to set number 4. On the set point, Claire Doty up to serve. And
nice.
This one is an ace to finish off set number 3, and Vermillion takes it 25-21. It's 2-1 Yankton Gazelles lead it over the Vermillion Tanagers. We're back here in just a moment on Live Ticket TV.
There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers!
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Let's be real. You work, you worry, you wait, you wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank and Trust understands this rural reality. We're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank and Trust. Real banking, real easy. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
As we get set for the fourth set, it's 2-1. The Yankton Gazelles lead it over the Vermillion Tanagers. All right, Coach Zeller, let me set this up for you.
Okay.
This was brilliant. We were trying to calculate inside the broadcast booth on how we were going to get over here in time. And my broadcast partner, producer Cole Large, came up with a perfect math formula. It was something about every point takes about 20 seconds in volleyball.
Okay.
We're expecting a minimum of 25 points. And then somehow he added 1,000 seconds into that and said, calculate that together, and that's how long it will take for these games, JV and C, to finish out. And that's how much time we're going to have. I don't know how you get 20 times 25 times or add 1,000 to it and it all made sense.
Were you?
We have no clue what he was trying to say.
You should have just said, Nimke, check your text messages. Zeller is texting.
And we actually had the game. We were doing side-by-side camera at points, so we were watching the JV game as well, since we had access to the huddle camera, and we're bringing that in the broadcast.
Right.
But no, we appreciated your text until you kept telling us it was 2-0.
Yeah.
And that meant we had to sprint over here. Vermillion gets their first point. We're tied 1-1 as we begin the fourth set. Again, fourth set. Vermillion won the third set. Gazelles still trail 2-1. Coach over here trying to put his rally cap on. 1-1.
So I don't know how much you follow USD volleyball, Heath.
I wish I was better. Let's put it that way. Let's put it this way. They're too darn good.
They're so good, and some of the games they've won have been so exciting. So I just don't know what happened to them against North Dakota State the other night. If you would have told me that would even be a challenge for them, I told you were crazy.
No, they won that though, correct? No, they lost? I missed that. I thought they won.
Like, I'm going to tell you the honest truth, because they won the first set pretty easily. And I maybe took a nap during a little bit. I was shocked.
Wow, that is shocking.
Wake up at the end, and it was in the 5th set. I just couldn't even believe it.
Wow, that is shocking.
Yeah. But, boy, Elizabeth Yankton, she went to town again. She had, I want to say, maybe 35 kills.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what USD has put together with a volleyball, I mean, if you have, now I have gotten over to the SCS scene and I've watched some volleyball games. If you have never gotten over there, check it out sometime.
Yes.
They are amazing. The program that they have built. I can remember back when I went to USD, they were still playing in the dome up in that little weight room area at the time. Of course, it doesn't even exist anymore. That's all gone.
I'll age that even when I played volleyball for USD back in my day, and we played underneath the bleachers on that back side in those bottom gyms under there.
Well, I say where they had the practice.
Yeah, it's where like intramurals happened in there. Yeah, and if we were having a really big competitor, we came to Vermillion High School to play.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
That is absolutely crazy. Yeah, where the football locker rooms.
Yeah, back where the locker rooms are now. Exactly where we played.
Of course, that's all completely changed now with the renovation of the gym.
Yes.
Something that was needed. I mean, it was good to see them get to the SC and what they've just created inside that atmosphere as well.
Yeah, and then on top of that, Leanne Williamson is phenomenal.
What she has built with the program.
Yes,
great.
And not to shy away from her coaching staff is really, really good.
And they've all stayed together as well.
They have.
And that's been huge just to continue to watch the program build.
Yep.
Point for the Vermillion Tanagers here. Let's talk a little bit of USD volleyball. 4-3, the Yankton Gazelles lead it over the Vermillion Tanagers. So was that their first conference loss then?
Yes, that's only their second loss of the year.
That's what I was thinking.
Their only other loss was to Louisville, first match of the year.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they shocked me. I just didn't expect that.
You have to have every hiccup every once in a while.
Every once in a while. Guess it's good to get it over with now.
That's right. See if they can't make it back to the NCAA tournament where they have been last year or past couple of years now where they've had some success.
They have.
4-4 here in set number 4. And this time Gazelles find some space. The defense of the Vermillion Tanagers take back their lead, 5-4. Vermillion has yet to lead in this 4th set. They've tied it up a couple different times, but have never led at any point. This one trying to be knocked over.
Oh, that's a nice save by Claire.
Surprised there wasn't net interference. Looked like she might have made a little bit of contact there. Jensen battles at the net here. Popped up in the air. Jensen once again. This time she's able to finish it off with the 3rd attempt on the kill.
Right off her head. The other team's head.
5-5 here in set number 4. As Gap is now up to serve. Going all the way down. McDermott there, and this one does hit the line. Point for the Gazelles.
Yeah, they're really working that right-hand side of the court over there, and because the coach keeps moving Emma to this side, and then she moves her to that, and every time they move her, they send the ball the other direction. So
6-5. Gazelles trying to win in this 4th set. Get over, popped up in the air by Ani. Ani sends it, but right into the 2 blockers. Gazelles come again with Drotzman. Ani knocked up in the air, tipped over by Jensen. Drotzman just sends it over. Popped up once again. Vermillion keeps the rally alive. Here come the Gazelles, and they're going to put this one once again down the line. Another big point.
Yeah, that was kind of a lucky play, but at the same time, they stayed alive long enough to have a lucky play. I don't know. I'm sure I've told you. I know I've told you. Actually, I was kind of being sarcastic. I am just so proud of Ani and what she has provided this team this year. She's just, I get caught watching her during a whole rally because she's playing a complete game, and she's in a totally new position, and she's rocking it. So
the growth from this team has just been phenomenal over the past couple of years, and as we mentioned, a couple seniors on this team, but still a lot of youth as well.
Yes, and some youth with some great talent.
Yep. Not to look too far ahead, but I know there's going to be a lot of excitement with this girls basketball team for Vermillion. There's a lot of great talent that's not even seen out there right now for volleyball. Not even necessarily seen for soccer as well, but there's a lot of great talent that is still coming up. A couple girls, I guess, specialize in basketball for Vermillion as well.
There's a couple, yep.
8-6, Yankton Gazelles lead it by 2. And they're trying to win this fourth set and win the night. Once again, the third time now that they have gone down the line and have gotten a huge point. So see if they can't keep working that far side as we see it. Doty to Voss. Voss has 2 blockers in the way for the Gazelles. Sent over nicely by Drotzman. O'Neal wasn't quite ready for it. 10-6.
That was one of those tweener balls. I think that was probably actually one Serena could have gotten, because Kelsey probably should be covering that line a little bit, but you know, it's all about just get it.
And O'Neal, what a great play. She got it all the way across court, but just kept on sending it. She was into the bleachers and sent it to the opposite bleachers. Point.
And that's a hard one, because you have to get it, it has to go between the antennas. So you had to come further enough this way to get it, you know, inside that the antenna over there.
And she did.
Yeah.
Just a little too far though.
Yep, just too far.
But the Gazelles right now on a big run, and this one, a block that goes out of bounds. And now a 6-0 run. A timeout called by Coach Nelson. We'll step aside and take the timeout with them. Here in this fourth set, it's 12-6. The Yankton Gazelles lead over the Vermillion Tanagers. We're back here in just a moment on Live Ticket TV.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Oh, that was music.
12-6 here at set number 4. Yankton Gazelles leading it 2-1 and 12-6 in this fourth set, trying to finish off the Vermillion Tanagers. And again, on a 6-0 run, a service error ends that for the Gazelles. That was a well-timed timeout by Coach Nelson. Now the question is, can Vermillion turn something into it and start getting their offense going? Up to serve will be Claire Doty. Doty gets it over nicely. Again, the best server Vermillion has with Claire. Drotzman to Gap. Doty sets up a nice pass to Ani. Tries to send it down the near line. Gazelles get out of the way as it's to Drotzman. Back coming in the Tanagers. Just sent over. O'Neal there. Doty, Drotzman, or excuse me, to Voss. Blocked there by Drotzman. Also in there, getting it was McDermott, but again falls behind them, and a point for the Vermillion Tanagers.
Brooklyn's swinging at the ball well tonight. I really like her switch ups. She's swinging at the ball hard, but yet choosing the right times to throw the ball, tip the ball, whatever you want to call it, to those open spots.
Yep, try to get over the blockers, absolutely.
Yeah.
Playing heads up so far tonight. O'Neal pops this one up in the air to Gap. Doty will just have to get it over on the third hit, able to do so. Drotzman comes, takes the deflection there. Vermillion, and that was I wouldn't say the best to pass from Doty, but Voss made it work.
Yeah. I think what they're trying to run there is basically a 3 or kind of like a half shoot set. And I think it went a little further out than Brooklyn anticipated.
12-9. And wow. Drotzman just gets it over the net, but Vermillion, communication-wise and body language, is certainly quickly dropping. 13-9. As the Gazelles now halfway to finishing off this fourth set with a victory and getting out of here with the 3-1 victory on the evening, getting to 3 wins on the season as well. The Gazelles have certainly had a tough go so far this year. O'Neal. Doty able to get it over. Right there at the net, and they're going to call a violation. That gives it to the Vermillion Tanagers.
So, Heath, I got to give a little shout out. I just checked my
Please
text
do.
messages. Hannah Christofferson's listening to us on the radio tonight or on the live stream. She's at home recovering from her knee surgery this week. She just had that surgery.
Well, I hope knee surgery went all okay.
I think, Hannah, if it didn't go well, you let me know. But from what I've heard, everything went well, and I'm glad to know you're watching and listening to us.
Great to have all of our Tanager fans out there as well. Of course, this has been a great evening of activities here on Live Ticket TV, getting to have that chance to broadcast earlier. The soccer team that has punched their ticket into the playoffs will have coverage of them in the playoffs. And then, of course, getting that chance to come right over here afterwards. We'll say made a little bit of a press. Big point here for the Vermillion Tanager. They draw it within 1. After last week where it happened that we found out we had some time between the soccer game boys and then that volleyball game, we decided that from now on we're never going to
do that, right?
We're just never going to leave anything in doubt. We're going to make it happen.
There you
Even
go.
if Cole Larsh has to almost die sweating, we're going to make it happen. He's just completely out of it tonight.
We'll get him some rollerblades or
there you
something.
go.
Yes.
See, what has to happen is we just need to talk to Amy Richardson, who's got the health cart out there. She can just zip us around very, very quickly. They zip around on that thing on the soccer field all the time. So
there you go.
We got to see if we can't get a ride from her next time. Big hit there. Blocked nicely by the Tanagers. Gap returns the favor, but dug out by Mosier. Opposite way. Gazelle send it across court. Doty just has to send it over. Not the greatest of passes. The rally continues, and off the blockers, a Voss point for the Yankton Gazelles. Things continue to get better for the Gazelles of where they're at right now of finishing this off.
Yeah, I think that went bad when Claire had to take the ball. And it wasn't what Claire did, but then Kelsey chose to set it to the right side of the court versus the left side of the court, which made us then not be able to put as much oomph on the ball and gave Yankton a better play on the ball. So
I have to ask Cole here a question in just a moment. When it comes to what I just saw on the TV there, as right now the Tanagers have it, was that Tua? Oh, wow, that's not good at all. That did not look good.
Oh, Tua went down? I was going to say Teddy Bridgewater's in.
I was saying Tua was being carted off. I mean, I know, of course, last week he was in for a concussion. Back injury is what they called it. They sent him back out there, and it looked like he landed on his back once again pretty tough. Was that what it was, some kind of back injury they're thinking? All I know is he was carted off. Yeah. Well, we'll see how the Dolphins can do. 3-0 in the AFC and a big kill as we're back in action here. Nice job by Vermillion.
She did all the little things there, Serena. Video that one, replay it, watch it, do it over and over again.
16-13, 3-point lead for the Yankton Gazelles as they're now under double digits of winning, and a point back to the Gazelles, 17-13. Vermillion needs to get a run going right now as Mosier is up to serve the lower barrow.
We've got a good passing set across that back row, so we need to Get one up here.
But doesn't really go to that back line. And a point for the Gazelles. I don't even know Teddy Bridgewater still played football.
Yep, back up for Miami.
I guess so. You learn something new every day, I guess. That guy retired about 2 years ago. Doty will get it over for the Tanagers. This one will go too far. Out of bounds, as trying to get a big kill that time was Koletsky. But Vermillion will benefit. They draw it within 4, but they again need to get on a run of their own to make something happen. As now serving is Emma for the Yankton Gazelles, and a great kill that time by McDermott. Or excuse me, that wasn't McDermott. That was Ava who gets the kill that time.
Yes. I'd like to go down there. It's so easy when you're sitting here and watching it. But I know it's not the same when you're down there on the sidelines because I've been there a long time. But I'd like to go down there and tell them they haven't hit the ball down the line one time.
Sure.
They haven't. Not from that side, from the strong hand, from the left-hand side of the court. So, you know, that blocker needs to come in and challenge them to hit down the line. Looks to me, do you think she just lost a contact? Is that what they're looking for?
I think she just...
Or did she...
She couldn't tie her shoe.
Or was it literally a shoe?
She didn't tie her own shoe, so I don't know if she was trying to double or triple knot it there.
I don't know. That was a long time, whatever happened there for...
It's all the same Adidas shoes. See, that someone else can tie it for you because everyone knows they're the same shoe. Yeah, that was kind of interesting there. 7-6, by the way, Thursday Night Football. Anyone curious out there? The Zebras are leading it over the Dolphins.
Just keeps rubbing it in.
I do.
I'll make sure old Boyle goes and listens to this.
Please do. I lined him up the other day. I'm already in trouble with him from a comment I made the other day, so I'm going to get it some more. Like I said, if he doesn't come up with me tomorrow night, I understand why.
There you go.
Mr. Drake, Mr. Huska.
Coach Drake in the building.
Yep. Over here on the near side, Coach Drake, I believe, was grilling up hot dogs once again. Tonight for soccer. No, he was grilling up Tuesday. Cole Larsh got himself a J. Drake hot dog. I just got the good old Snickers instead.
There you go. You gotta love game night dinner, right, Cole?
One into the net, service error by Koletsky, so it gives it right back to Tanagers. All right, Vermillion needs to get the offense going here. Trailing by 4, 10 to win, and force that 5th and decisive set. Both teams have a timeout remaining. Good kill there by the Gazelles as it took a deflection off the blockers and just kind of popped up in the air. Vermillion not able to cover in time.
We got to get a little streak going here. Stop them on,
Nope.
Stop them on one and get a streak.
20-15. As this time,
I was
a deflection. I did not see that deflection.
I saw that one too. That's a good call, Neil. Good call.
So benefiting there, Barnett with the deflection. Point for the Tanagers. Again, can't be swapping back points. Vermillion needs to get it going right now. Sent over. Drotzman lines up for the great kill, tries to go across court, and a great block there by Voss. He's trying to get it over, but denied was Dimmer. Vermillion back-to-back points, draws it within 3. Serve once again, close to an ace as it's dug up.
Get it, Marissa. Good job.
Doty. And a pass that's just popped up. And finally, point for the Gazelles. As Voss wasn't able to send it in the right direction. I was still a little confused by that pass. That looked like a ball underneath the net at one point. I don't know what I saw. Barnett's shot did not look like it went above the net to me on our side for the Tanagers. I just completely saw that wrong then.
I think so, because I don't remember seeing any of that.
I completely saw that wrong. 22-17.
Yeah, they got a net break there on that last serve.
Vermillion needs to make their stand here. Doty just sends it over. Yankton was ready. Blocked down, set back up. Doty trying to get the pass to O'Neal. But Vermillion was not ready with Anya. She had to lean back and then drop, or excuse me, I said it again, Voss. She was not ready. And again with the left hand, just trying to keep it alive. Sends it backwards, 23-17. Simply over, O'Neal comes running in. Vermillion trying to make something happen off some blockers. Point for the Tanagers as it goes out of bounds. Substitution made as Puckett will come back in. Claire Doty up to serve.
Seems like Claire gets in this position a lot, doesn't it? Where it's kind of game on the line and Claire serving.
And for Vermillion, that might be all we see of Claire Doty. 24-18 here in the fourth set. Trying to finish this one off for the Yankton Gazelles. McDermott up to serve. O'Neal. Doty. Puckett just has to get it over. Mosier lined up nicely. Sent down. Gap. Dives to dig it up. Ani once again sends it across. Mosier there to dig. Back the opposite way to Doty. Comes to her chest. Off to the right. 25-18. Fourth set goes to the Yankton Gazelles. They win it 3-1 tonight over the Vermillion Tanagers. Great effort. In the end, not enough.
It was. And I'm way to blow my theory out the window there. That last kill, notice, went straight down the line where I said they weren't hitting it. Yeah. To me tonight, the difference was those little gaps where we lose our focus. Those little gaps got a little too long tonight.
Yeah. A little too long, especially in that fourth set.
Yeah.
It was moments that they seemed like they were in it, but in the end, couldn't quite finish it off.
Right.
Have to bounce back now. This was a long extended break for Vermillion. Now time to bounce back and see if they can't bounce back down to Class A and find some big victories.
Exactly. They've got a good schedule coming up here in the next couple weeks. DAC 12 tournaments coming up. That is a wow. Yes. If you look at the state tournament the last, probably five, maybe 6 years, there's been 3 or 4 of the DAC 12 teams in that state tournament. So that conference tournament is as good a tournament as the state tournament is many of years. So great competition there, and that's up at West Central this year. Okay, so it's a nice location. Everybody get out there and go watch it.
What do they call it? The Coliseum, even though it doesn't make sense that they call it the Coliseum when they're actually the Trojans. It's the wrong name.
It is.
Don't get to go talk to Coach Jensen about it, and she will give you a history lesson.
She will.
She will go off for about 10-15 minutes. She'll be extremely upset. It is a funny conversation. I mean, she is right. Mm-hmm. So I can't argue with that, but she is very heated on it. Don't ever send Coach Jensen into West Central Gym. She will have a conversation with you. So, but that'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Yes. Looking forward to it. Coach Zeller, as always, we appreciate it. You have a wonderful night, all right?
I will, and thanks for having me.
Cole Larsh, I know you're tuckered out over there. We're actually going to wrap things up as well, as it's going to be time for us to now get set and ready to go for more football. In fact, I have plenty to do for prep yet, as coming up tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, it's pregame time for the Vermillion Tanagers as they take on the Chamberlain Cubs in Chamberlain. Don't forget, you can catch all the action right here on Live Ticket TV. Once again, 3-1. It is the Yankton Gazelles that get the win over the Vermillion Tanagers. And once again, congratulations to earlier action for the Vermillion girls soccer team as they got the victory over Dakota Valley 4-2, and they punched their ticket into the playoffs. Until tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, for Coach Zeller, Cole Larsh, I'm Heath Nimke. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening.